Hello and welcome back to Catch and Cook California. I'm Kevin, and this is video number 3 in my series Catch, Cook, and Culture. Today we're gonna make a recipe from my own Western European background. I'm going for California halibut for fish and chips. Now the rig we're going to use today is going to be real simple. We've got one smaller hook that's snelled onto the line and can slide back and forth, and that's the one I'm running through the nose of this herring. I'm going to run it through once, flip it around, run it back through again, and that way that hook is basically sewn through the face of the herring. The second hook is tied to the end of the line. That's going to go into the side of the herring, and as I give it a pull, it's going to create a little bend, and that's what's going to cause all the action of this bait on the end of this long leader. Leader's about 2 feet long. We've got that tied directly to a swivel. We've got a bead there, and then we've got a slider there tied with about a 6-inch leader to about a 4-ounce egg weight or a 4-ounce torpedo weight. This allows the whole setup to bounce off the bottom but not drag along the bottom, and you can see the action there on the herring. So we're basically going to drop it right down to the bottom, reel up just a little bit. I don't move my rod up and down too much. Instead, I just kind of let the action of the boat sort of bounce it along. I'm here back to back with my dad. This is his Boston Whaler, his boat, and we're just going to hang out and see if we can catch some fish. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Bring them on in. Nice. Very nice, Dad.
Bring it down. I don't think that's gonna make it.
Close though.
Yeah. Right there.
That's 22, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, he makes it. He's 22. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Right here, Pop. Boom. That's a legal halibut right on the boat, pretty much right off the bat. That's awesome. So we're a little deeper here. This is 53, 55.
Turning around.
Yeah. Well, we caught that one over, you said 25?
About 30 feet of water.
30 feet of water. Not super deep. Yeah, yeah. Hey, nice, man. Very nice, man. Very nice. Oh, man, yeah, that's definitely legal. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Nice fishing, Pop.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I got a fish on. Well, you know how we do it on the YouTubes. Got to hook the fish while we don't have the camera going. So I was messing with the one my dad just got, and then we just hooked this one. I landed that one there. That's a nice one, man. Wow, lively.
Wasn't a limit, but we got 3 out of 4, and I'd say one of them is probably about 12, 15 pounds.
Good. So I've shown you how to fillet a halibut before, but we'll just walk you right back through that process now. So I make a cut on both sides near the collar. I usually make a run right along the edge of the fin, and then start in the center. You make one cut right down the middle, run right along the bones, and it takes that fillet straight off. And then you have the option to take it off the skin or leave it on the skin. Doing the exact same thing here. Cool thing about filleting a halibut is you basically get 4 fillets, one from the top of the fish, one from the bottom on both sides. So here I've taken them off the skin. On the other side here, just making those same cuts. Always such a cool contrast, the white skin that is the bottom side of the fish where it lays on the sand, and then the other side with all the camouflage. In this case, I'm taking those last fillets off, and I'm just going to leave these on the skin. Such a user-friendly fish to fillet. If you've never filleted a halibut, I highly recommend get out there, catch them, and learn how to fillet fish by filleting halibut. Very user-friendly. So we caught the halibut.
Yeah, we did.
Always great hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Get out with your parents, go have adventures. Well, if this is catch, cook, and culture, we got to talk a little bit about my own culinary cultural tradition. And today we're gonna make an old Western European favorite, fish and chips. Russet potato, great history behind this specific potato. Potatoes are an indigenous Peruvian cultivar. They've been part of the Peruvian diet for over 8,000 years, cultivated for at least 5,000, and potatoes the size of what we're used to today have probably been on the menu for about 3,500 years. It was Spanish colonization that took the potato from Peru and brought it back to Europe. Since potatoes are a highly nutritious food that could be easily grown in Europe, they soon became the backbone of local subsistence economies, no more so than in Ireland. Among certain poor families in Ireland, potatoes made up to 80% of the diet. In the mid-1800s, a fungal infection known as late blight crashed the potato crops across Western Europe. But it was the mismanagement and deliberate neglect by British imperial rule in Ireland that led to the deaths of over 1 million Irish people. This potato famine also resulted in the exodus of over 2 million Irish people. Botanist Luther Burbank, pictured here between Thomas Edison on the left and Henry Ford on the right, sought to develop a new strand of potato in Sonoma County, California, one that was resistant to late blight. He came up with the Burbank russet, what we now know as the russet potato. It is the staple potato for making chips, aka French fries. Now the Belgians, the French, and the British all claim to have invented the French fry, but we're not going to concern ourselves with that. We'll let them fight it out. The truth of the matter is, it was the British who have popularized this dish, fish and chips as we know it today. And since I'm part Irish and part British, I'm going to share a little bit of my Western European culinary tradition. You've got to make sure that you rinse these in cold water first. That leaches out some of the starch in the potatoes. It allows it to get nice and crispy. And then make sure you dry that off thoroughly. Otherwise, when it hits the oil, it's going to explode, start popping all over the place. So these have been thoroughly dried. We're going to throw them in the fryer and get cooking. To test the oil, I'll throw in a single French fry. If it bounces off the bottom, hits the top at a rolling fry, then I know that it's hot enough. You want to make sure that that oil is not smoking, and when you add the rest, you want to make sure you don't add too much. That way it doesn't boil over, hit the flame, and light on fire. It's a good idea to keep some baking soda aside for grease fires. Alright, so the other key to it is you have to fry your fries twice. A lot of people do not believe me on this, but it is essential. That's what's going to give it the nice crispiness. For the beer batter, it could not be simpler. I use a little bit of chili powder. You can also use paprika, about an 1/8 teaspoon. We're going to do about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're adding this to about a cup of all-purpose flour. You can add in whatever beer you want. I probably wouldn't use a porter or a stout. It might be a little bit on the dark side, but an IPA is just fine. You can use a lager. It's all good, trust me. Mix that in until you have pancake batter-like consistency, and the bubbles from the beer is what's going to allow that nice leavened type of texture in that beer batter. Once you get all the lumps out, you're going to take your fish, you're going to dust them in flour, give it a shake to get rid of any excess flour, and toss it into that pancake batter consistency beer batter. Stir it around and then transfer it over to your hot oil, and then all you got to do is fry it until it's golden brown. Could not be simpler, and it is absolutely exquisite. Drain it on some paper towels. Make sure you don't stack the fish on top of each other. You want to keep it nice and crispy. And once your fish is fully cooked, you're going to throw those French fries back in the fryer for the second fry. That way they come out nice and crispy too. Give them a little sprinkle of salt and serve it up on your favorite platter. Make sure everybody's already sitting down at the table. You want to serve this hot and fresh. All right, there it is. A small bit of Western European culinary tradition. Fish and chips.
You did a good job, Kevin.
Well, I learned from the best, Pop. Which one you got there? Is that the halibut?
This is the halibut right now.
And you like the texture?
Yeah. It's very good. Very solid fish. Real good chew to it. The batter makes it a little more fatty because halibut, I think, is a pretty lean fish. Very good job.
Nice.
I think of the halibut sometimes as being dry, on the dry side, but this is really, really well done.
Okay.
It's cooked and it's moist. I'm still a super fan of lingcod. It just is who I am, but I like them both.
Okay, so classic. We're doing a little bit of lemon, We got a little bit of tartar sauce, a little bit of ketchup. Do some malt vinegar here. Get some of that on there. This one is the halibut. So I'm gonna go with a little tartar sauce, a little ketchup.
Really good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really good. Ling cod.
There's something about ling cod, right?
Really, really good. Yeah, I think I'm still a bigger fan of ling, but that halibut is bomb. Fries are really good too.
Good job.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you back at the next episode. Until next time. Damn, I can't even remember. Okay.
Keep the old ways alive.
Oh yeah. Do what my mom says. Until next time, keep the old ways alive.
Do what my mom says.